Since I have been reading about magic, not just reading, watching and listening many documentaries about its history, context, influence, and its journey across the ages, how it has been shaped across the cultures, or how it has shaped the human perception towards the magic, fascination, illusion, wonderment, and all the fascinating things that a man can think of. And it's I'm really impressed and moved by the people who have lived in different ages and have helped mold the form of magic as we see in the present form today. The magic has not been through a very smooth journey. There have been persecutions and the views of doubt from the state, religion, and many times the magicians were considered as the charlatans of the superstition from the Dark Ages. And it was not a very respectable profession, and it was, they say, the Jean Houdin was the technician and the clockmaker who actually helped bring magic from behind the streets and competing on the streets and the corner of the cities to respectable positions where they are seeing someone who can sit and being elevated, considered as equivalent to the top-notch artist, unlike the earlier one who maybe sometimes used to be conflicted with, associated with gamblers, cheaters, pickpocketers, which was not really the case. And these magicians who have been in different eras have contributed significantly, and even today when I do some magic, I can say that it's their influence who is actually helping me today. What it is possible only because of him. Now, this lecture was created because when I say the magician is someone who has got elevated sense of presentation, and he's got the power of magic that is really intoxicating. And now when I see someone who I think can do magic and is not doing it, I think no, though it's not true, everyone has got their preferences, art forms and skill sets. It's not necessarily they learn magic, but I think a person should learn magic because this is something that elevates him directly in the eyes of the others, way above. And like the father was talking about my grandfather, and that how he was so smart and beautiful, and the girls used to get attracted to him, and he was really smart and the personality. And then I thought, why wasn't he a magician? I wish he could be like Di Vernon. Anyways, that's easier said than done. His life has been a struggle, as I come to know, because their parents were passed away in pandemic like this today, and he was somehow lucky to survive this pandemic and raised and brought up by one of his close relatives. So maybe it's easier for me to say that why wasn't he a magician? Maybe for him the conditions were entirely different. It never stuck him, that bite. And magic in general always starts with someone witnessing some show while he was a kid, or maybe some relative who can do the magic at the parties and the get-together of the families is the one who is the starting point. And rightly in my case, it was one of my relatives who has been the source of inspiration. I didn't realize it, to be frank. It was in front of my eyes, and still I couldn't see it. That is true. And when I dissected my interest back as a child, I remember it was his live show which I had attended, and this was all what had influenced me and kind of encouraged me to buy a book of magic tricks from the Pustak Mahal, 101 Magic Tricks by Pustak Mahal. Maybe today it's also available. It was one of the fundamental tricks, but it doesn't matter what it was. It had already triggered me into a direction which was long been forgotten. I only started 3 years back after I had seen someone who could do magic, and from then it has never ceased, and it will never until I reach to the top. So I'm grateful that that bug has bit me. Sooner or later I am into that direction. Maybe it never bit my grandfather, but anyways, maybe someday my coming generation will say that we used to have a grandfather who was a great magician. Out of context. So that's all from my side today. There you go. Bye. Take care.